Have you ever stopped to wonder what God really meant when he spoke through Moses in Exodus 14:14? The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. The greatest victories in our lives are not the ones we see, but the ones God has already fought and continues to fight for us in secret. Today, as we turn to Numbers 22 and the story of Balaam and Balak, we'll see how Scripture reveals the depth of God's protection over us. In verse 1 of this chapter, the children of Israel had come a long way on their journey toward receiving God's promise. They were camped in the plains of Moab, right across from the promised land. Their tents covered the desert like a vast sea of people. Yet while Israel rested in peace, they had no idea that fear had already seized Balak, the king of Moab. God's people were unaware, but their very presence made their enemy tremble. How relatable this is. Even in our own lives, we go about our daily business unaware of the countless dangers God shields us from each day. In verses 2 through 6, we see Balak, king of Moab, overcome with fear, just as the enemy fears us as children of God. Seeing Israel's great numbers, he knew he could not fight them by strength. So, he turned to the spiritual, summoning Balaam to curse God's people. Balak believed that words of curses could weaken them, unaware that God had already spoken blessing over Israel. What a powerful picture. Period. While the enemy plots in secret, God's mighty hand is already working on our behalf. Balak sent the princes of Moab to Balaam, and though Balaam listened, God had the final say. As Scripture declares, who is he that speaks, and it comes to pass when the Lord has not commanded it? Lamentations 3:37. That night, God came to Balaam and said, "You shall not curse these people, for they are blessed." Think about that. While Israel slept peacefully in their tents, unaware of the schemes against them, God was already defending them and declaring their blessing. This is the God we serve. He fights for us in ways we cannot see. Balaam chose to go with the princes, but God sent his angel to oppose him on the road. Balaam didn't see the angel, but his donkey did, and stopped. Isn't that powerful? Sometimes we don't see the danger ahead, but God places barriers in our path to protect us. Balaam grew angry, not realizing that God himself was saving his life. And then God did something extraordinary. He opened the mouth of the donkey, and it spoke. Balaam argued with his donkey, but then his eyes were opened, and there before him stood the angel of the Lord, sword drawn. In that moment, the unseen battle was revealed. Balaam finally realized he was standing against the will of God. Friends, even when we cannot see the battle, we can be confident of this. God is already fighting for us. Finally, Balak took Balaam up to a high place, what we might call a type of altar, overlooking the camp of Israel. Sacrifices were offered, and curses were expected. But God would not allow his people to be cursed. Instead, out of Balaam's mouth came words of blessing over Israel. Once again, the enemy's schemes were overturned by God's protection. Truly, no weapon formed against the people of God shall prosper. The story of Balaam and Balak reminds us of this great truth. God fights for his people, even when they don't know it. While Israel slept, God declared blessing. When the enemy plotted, God turned it into victory. And when danger blocked the path, God sent his angel to protect. This is the God we serve, faithful, powerful, and always fighting for his own. Friends, do not be anxious about anything. Instead, In everything, give thanks and bring your requests to God, and the peace of God will be with you. Always, if this message has blessed you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more uplifting and edifying content. Thank you.